Okay, good evening, everybody. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2020. This is a meeting of the Hanson Recreation Commission. We are meeting in the main lodge office of Camp Kiwanee. This meeting is being video recorded, and those in attendance are Diane Cohen,
Melissa Scartesi,
John Succo,
Brian Frizzetti,
Brian Smith,
should be Hartley.
Joan Frizzetti,
And in the audience, we have...
Bill Boyle.
Well, you're not in the audience.
Yeah.
Dory Jamison.
John Sambrook,
and Matt Johnson.
Matt Johnson. And his two brothers.
your names, guys, say your names.
I'm Bo. Hi.
And Bo.
Okay.
And I'm Eric.
Hi, Aaron. Okay. All right. First order of business, approval of the minutes. Are we approving all three of these tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody have?
the amended one yet, or-
Yes.
Oh, we do, okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Because Joan, we had to amend it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes from November 18th, 2019? Anybody had a chance to read them all?
Motion to approve
Yes,
those.
around.
Okay. Okay.
Second.
everyone.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, how about the December 2nd, 2019 minutes? Did everybody have a chance? Would you like to make a motion?
Motion to approve 12-2 minutes.
second.
All those in favor? Okay, and the meeting minutes from February 10th. That was our last meeting.
Just name corrections on that one too.
Name corrections?
Yeah, well, yeah, she put me in as Joan Zuko.
Oh, that's interesting.
That whole Italian
Just say
thing.
yeah.
That whole
That's all the
Italian thing.
same.
I'm gonna
And
apologize
also,
because I don't know.
and also abstaining, you put my name, but it was my son, it was Brian that abstained
It
on.
was in just the groupie.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Hey, Matt.
I thought we had since rectified the email stuff, but a few people have still, like, I had to do it with the caretakers too when I was doing the email
Right,
test.
because I didn't get the last ones. I read the other two, but I didn't get the last ones with I
Yeah,
don't
to
know.
reach down, it was by
Okay.
itself at the bottom.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go with you guys. So we want to make a motion other than, so we're not accepting them, they need to be revised for the...
Were you able to, did you catch the abstaining one?
Yeah, you're,
No, I didn't get
you're just so,
Yeah, you on it.
I know
just
I
a-
didn't get it.
I'll just wait for the chair.
What's the title on
Um,
it? Okay. All right, so,
minutes.
I'm
Just-
sorry.
Just a point of order, you can vote to approve as amended.
As amended,
Yeah.
yes.
So you can take care of it tonight.
So would anybody like to make a motion to approve the 2/10/2020 minutes as
So moved.
amended?
So moved.
Thanks, Joan. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Brian. All those in favor? Okay. All right, department head update.
So first order of business before I
Bill.
claim her on, I was gonna introduce Mac
Would you,
to.
his scoutmaster's not here, would you mind just giving him a few minutes?
Sure, then we can, we'll wait for Scoutmaster.
Okay.
So, facilities wise, light crew on the morning got some that they're taking some time off. So Jack was here doing some of the lodge window stuff and some of the natural benches. No cabin updates as of right now.
Okay, taking, did he get hurt or something?
He had,
Shoulder
surgery, yeah,
Okay.
not
and
here. He considered.
Window work?
Just, cleaning and then if there's any like, not pointing, but if there's any sealing or anything that needs to be done.
Thank you.
You know, just because of the weather, I mean, between the
Right.
wind and everything.
Right.
Waiting on quotes from Chris for you know, kitchen and
We should have those this week.
yeah, he was hoping to have them to me by today, but I think obviously something got held up because when he and I were emailing as of last week, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to have those to you beginning of next week, and I'm sure it's just on his end, he's waiting on somebody to send him some info.
Okay, so just
So
to,
I'll keep badgering him.
please do.
Yeah. And every time I do, I'll just CC you on it so that.
Sure. I wanted to say that, so we did get estimates. He's getting a more up-to-date estimate on the stove, and then he's sort of going to do a punch list and prioritize what else we can do here with that grant money, so that we spend it all wisely. Yes, John?
Are we gonna replace the pizza oven, the gas pizza ovens too? I know it was mentioned in one of the meetings. but-
Right. What we figured out, what we determined to be the best course of action there is that we get a service contract for those ovens because they can be fixed. The Blodgettes you're talking about. Okay. They're the ones right next to the stove. They are the older ones, and they are hooked directly into the gas line with the stove.
Yeah, I think one just needs a new pilot assembly.
Right, so there are parts for those ovens, and if we hire a service company to come in and, replace parts, get them up and running, clean them out, and then maybe we just sort of add it into our budget to have a yearly review on those, so that they are all functioning properly. The new oven will have, the new stove, I should say, will have 2 ovens in it. So we're actually, by doing it this way, we're not removing any ovens, and we actually are gaining 2. And I think caterers and everybody will be pretty pleased with that. Okay? Anything else?
Especially with all those burners we're gonna have.
Yep, we're gonna have 10 burners.
Think of all the spaghetti we can make, John.
Beautiful.
So 10 burners, and if we needed a griddle, we can purchase, they do have them that can go over, 4 or 5 of the burners as an insert, right?
Do we have enough gas to do this based on what we have presently?
Do we
As far
have?
as BTUs, do we have enough of a gas feed
Yes.
for all 3?
Yes, we do.
How about
Yep.
the fire control system?
That's going in as part of it.
That's part of this whole
Yes,
process.
yeah, that's part of the whole process. And then with the rest of the money, if there is any, fire panel, I think we talked about.
Yeah, the new alarm system.
New alarm, so getting it ready for a new alarm, fire panel, and if I can squeeze it in, I would like to be able to do those doors so that the windows, the drop-down windows, and get those repaired so that we can use them during weddings. And I think it's gonna take like an overhead door company to
Yeah, well,
really,
so as of last meeting, so Moore and Pepin had said that they don't do that type of work anymore. They said they have somebody, and I have to reach back out to them because they were gonna reach out to me, Lassie and Sons. So they said these guys would probably be the best bet, or at least the best people to reach out to,
why?
because they work with them and they've done a lot of the stuff in the past. So they said if anybody can do it, start here.
Okay.
Where are
there.
they based out of?
Dartmouth,
That's not too bad.
so it's not too far. But yeah, they said back when they first started Morning Pep, that was kind of under the guise of some of the work they would do. They said now it's more just overhead stuff. So yeah,
No one has them anymore.
yeah,
Except us. Okay. So that's, anything else under facilities?
facilities, again, just tree side, as far as I know, we're still looking like March 9th.
Okay.
I haven't heard any other date. So that's how we're looking.
The North End cabins, no more updates on?
Not yet as of the screens.
Okay.
We're gonna look over the next few weeks, as long as we can get some weather, nice weather to get them out there. But just between the guys, taking some time with family, we haven't been able to get them all together. And
Okay, and in an update on the CPC money that we have left with the North End cabins, checked the wording on the grant, and the wording says restoration of the North End cabins. So that's a pretty broad term. So we can use that money to restore what is there with the cabins, which means to move it to a better location as well. Because you're restoring the cabin, it can't be restored if it's on ground that can't hold it.
Is that something we can work with Chris on?
Yeah, he was going to get in touch with you
Okay.
so that you guys can walk the grounds and prioritize which cabins need what first. Okay?
True, but do we want to just lock down the cabins on the hills and try to do as much work on the other cabins?
As possible. The screens definitely have to be done, and there's a lot of screening that needs to be done on that cabin that's, I believe, right near the Frontier cabin.
I mean, if we're moving cabins.
The screen house, the screen
It's
house.
gonna cost a lot of money to move cabins, but if we lock them out and work on the remaining cabins that are on solid footing, we might get more bang for the buck.
If
this
you think
year.
that's the way to go, I'm gonna leave that to you, between you and Chris and anybody associated with facilities, because you have more knowledge of that than I do. So, anything else with that? Okay.
so now, if we may, I'd like to go ahead, turn the floor over to Mac to talk about some updates to our facilities.
Okay.
Say no. Alright. So, Mac, this is my Scoutmaster, Mr. McCann.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. McCann.
Hello.
Thanks
We
for
are
coming.
with Troop 138 now, and out of Braintree.
I'm gonna ask that you just stand there a little bit, I'm sorry, just so, no. Actually, you could stand right in front of me, that'd be cool.
The camera's out.
Back.
So I'm currently going to my Eagle Scout.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And for my project, I would like to restore some of the fireplaces that are here. Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
I plan to use cobblestone to make them.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, that is, I plan on that being donated by Massport. And, you know, so I have some pictures of the,
That would be great.
No, I had
So
it.
they're on a job site in East Boston. There's probably 80,000 of them. I won't miss them. However,
Are we sure this is legal?
excuse me, 1 second. So Mac will be writing a request letter to the
Okay.
commissioner requesting it. There's already a verbal agreement between he and I that they're not gonna miss them and that he will, you know, take and donate them to this cause. And in turn, the mason on my job site will provide the mortar necessary to glue it all together. But I'll let Mac finish, but the materials for this project are minimal. It's more manpower and planning.
And guidance and labor.
Which is what, I mean, I don't know how many of you have done an Eagle project. Hey, I know you. I have done an Eagle project here locally, but, you know, it's really up to Mac to drive this. You know, I'm more or less here to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself or others, and that we get, you know, his experience, his Eagle experience. It's a 27-page document that he's got to fulfill the obligations for. And there's 4 or 5 of us behind him, and we think he can do it.
Wonderful.
I also have pictures of what the fireplaces look like now. I plan on rebuilding 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
The north end, the south end, and the one right outside of this.
That would be great.
And I also have pictures of what I plan on we can.
No, that's at Plymouth Quarries and done by professionals. But we promise, we
To
have
get
a
as
couple,
close
Oh,
as you
that's-
can.
we have a couple of masons that are gonna participate.
How are you gonna get the materials? Are you gonna truck them or mass
Well,
book?
between Eric and I, Eric's right there, we both have plenty of truck. I come in and out of East Boston every day. I'm not gonna give him any answers, he's gotta estimate how many we need, but in a 5-day period, I can bring home as many as 1,000. We won't need any more than 1,000.
Do you have to cut the pieces?
There will be some cutting, yes.
Wow. With the wet saw and everything.
Won't quite be a wet saw, but it'll be a version thereof.
Are you going to do square or round or a
I'm
combination?
gonna give you one of each.
Oh, but there's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the third one's kind of up.
Up for grabs?
Yeah, so whichever one you think would look better in position.
Okay, well, think about that.
Yeah.
I like the round one.
I do like, something about me, I just like the round idea.
I think the round 2 just because less corners for chipping.
Or for kids to.
Yeah, and kids to
Either
walk
way, if a kid
into.
trips and falls, yeah, they're gonna hurt themselves.
They're gonna hurt
But I
themselves.
just feel like with corners, it's something my mother, I'm not for the corner.
You're all prepared for fatherhood now.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think we round 2 rounds in a square maybe?
Round, yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah, they're
all right.
gonna be
What's the
awesome.
time frame? So it's,
I plan on accomplishing that in a weekend, in
Okay.
either April or May.
so all 3 on a weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it'll probably be a couple of weekends,
Yeah,
Bringing the
between-
material?
Yeah.
okay? Once again, this is part of his project, I don't want to give up too much. There is a whole bunch of enabling that he has to do. Why don't you talk a little bit, I know you read it and everything, but why don't you talk a little bit about what you need to do approval-wise? I mean, this is the first in a step of a few other approvals, so talk about that.
Yeah, so it kind of starts here, and
Right.
then I plan on talking to the fire department to see, make sure it's up to the standards.
Speculation, right.
Okay. And then I have to go to the town hall and present it to the statement.
To the Board of Selectmen?
Yeah, Board of
Okay.
Selectmen.
Wow, well, I'm sure everybody's gonna be really pleased. I do, so how much manpower is going, who do you have, how many people do you have? helping?
Well, did we talk a little bit about not just the chimneys, what else, or the fireplaces, what else did we talk about the other day while we're here?
Yeah, any other things that need to be like.
No.
As your scoutmaster, I'm going to caution you.
As an adult, I'm gonna caution you.
So we have a fairly substantial membership. A lot of younger scouts are coming in this year. Mac's brother Bo's kind of, I think, he's a year older now. But we could have as many as 25 or 30 younger kids that we want to introduce to the Eagle Scout process. This is my son Cameron. He's made many an Eagle Scout and will be an Eagle Scout someday, I hope. But we tend to put a lot of people behind Mac, give them the management experience. So what we thought, and when we walked the site yesterday, there's an inordinate amount of tree material, branches, debris.
Correct.
Last year we did the egg hunt with Juvie. We had to basically clean up before we put the eggs out. So we would assume that that would be a level of effort that we would take care of. And then, there's some areas that are low and that need to be filled, some wheelbarrow work.
Wow.
These require a little bit of a foundation.
Yeah, they do.
So there'll be some digging.
Yep.
Once again, I'm giving it all away. He's supposed to figure this all out. But Mac's gonna basically wear the hard hat like I wear every day. And he's gonna manage, the whole thing is managing the adults that are doing the tool work. Like at his age, I mean, I've seen him work with power tools, but as a Boy Scout, I can't let him.
Right.
So there's a lot of adult-related functions, but the whole thing is engaging the kids. I shouldn't say the kids, the scouts. So when we engage the scouts, he's in charge. He diversifies to the older guys.
Delegate.
Yes. So it's the management experience from a Boy Scout standpoint.
Taking the leadership role.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Yes. We've made many an Eagle. We'll make him one too.
Awesome. Well, in my experience, Eagle Scouts grow up to be really good men. So, okay, do we need to vote on this or anything? I think we're good.
Yeah, does it need to?
I don't think it needs to go to a vote, does it? I don't think it does.
No, if we get somebody wanting to do work for us, I think we just let them do
We have to
it.
accept it.
We have to accept it as a donation of labor because there's
Okay, and then we
there's
would
a
have to-
monetary value to
Okay,
it.
and we have to submit that to the board of selectmen.
Right.
Right. So
Okay.
back to Mac. Explain the process that we went through, and that's part of the 27-page Eagle program. Mac's responsible for what I would say, for a better part of the room, a scope of work.
Yes.
He's going to include that in the narrative. He's going to narrate the project. He's going to pitch the project to the town, and then he's got to pass it by a bunch of people that are over and above me to get the project approved.
Within the organization of Boy
Within the
Scouts.
organization of Boy Scouts. With that, he'll present a budget. With that, he'll present quantity of materials that are being donated, Massport. My mason on the job site is going to give you 20 bags of mortar to glue it all together. Whatever else we see fit, trash bags, that kind of thing, we will provide all of that cost in a summary. We'll give you a rough order of magnitude and an estimate that he prepares. That'll be kind of sort of what we proceed with, and then obviously, like any other construction project around, there could be some things that we encounter that while we're here, we've got 20 extra boys that we do, and he manages, okay? One thing's for sure in this life is change, all right? And how you manage change is the measure of how you manage things. So it's a great project. He brought it to us. We didn't bring it to him. And you have our word that we'll make this a success.
I have no doubt you will. I thank you for thinking of us. Is there any way, and I'm going to defer to John and Dory on this, is there any way we can make a motion to accept this, even though it's the final price of the donation? Everything is pending?
Oh, yeah.
You can accept it and then authorize the work pending whatever else is needed, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, please understand that this is 72 to 90 hours old, and that,
Wow.
we've talked about it, but
Good.
implementing it it's all done the Boy Scout way. There's 27 pages of a worksheet that he has to do.
How long does the process of the paperwork for your organization take?
By the time we get the first, I mean, I can leave you a copy of it, so you always have it.
Yeah.
The first section is the proposal. He writes the proposal. Mac was given a sample project schedule, the way we manage work where I come from, to understand, so he'll manage the schedule, the scope of work, and the estimate. He'll pitch that to the Boy Scouts, but we expect that within 2 to 3 weeks that we would be able to implement the work.
Great. So, end of March, beginning of April?
Yes,
And it will take, I can't believe you're gonna do it all in a weekend.
2
Two
weekends.
2 or 3. Okay, so it'll be right before busy season. That would work out fabulous.
So do I need to motion to accept the project?
You do.
I have a motion to accept Mac's project of rehabilitating 3 fire pits.
On the
Yes.
property.
And
Pending.
pending approval by the Board of Selectmen.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Wow. This is really impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to see what they're gonna look like.
Wow.
And I'm sure I'm gonna have questions for you as you go, because I wanna see the whole process.
All right, I also left my phone number and email on there if you need
Yeah.
to reach me with any questions or anything.
Thank you.
So, process.
Does anybody have any questions about it right
Raising your
now?
hand.
No, my hand was less option.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. This is so great.
So,
Oh, that's right, you're from Wayne. Yeah.
I am, Mac's like homeboy.
Yeah.
This is the process.
Wow.
Okay? So, I don't know what's easier, building this or doing the paperwork.
I know.
I was gonna say building.
Probably built it.
A lot of reading.
Great work.
A lot of readings.
And the font is little.
So he'll have a project manual to go by.
I'm sorry?
He'll have a project manual to go by.
Do we need to sign off on anything?
Well, I think verbal for now.
Okay,
I think we need, at the town level, we need the selectmen approval.
perfect.
I think he needs someone to get him on the agenda.
Yeah, he's on the agenda.
He's on it already.
Okay. And a recommendation to, you know, the chair of the selectmen or whatever.
Right, that we support the project.
Yes,
Right,
an email, or I don't need to tell you that.
right.
All
Oh,
right,
yeah, I can fire that up.
all right, looks like you're
Wow.
off and running there, Junior.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much, thank you.
Oh, we'll talk so much next time. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fine.
Before we jump to the next one, just a couple Oh, this piece we actually have to do at the end.
Down in, yeah, I figured
so,
that. No,
yes.
I knew that.
Yeah, so that's just what you gotta
Right.
read and it's gotta be a roll call.
Got it, I figured that one out.
I meant to
Yeah.
prep you on that before and then I was like.
I knew I was gonna have to do something. No worries. Okay, budget update?
Budget update, so I sent out the old, expenditure report, because I thought there was a question about, was it cleaning supplies?
Yep.
Okay, so,
Or maintenance supplies?
well, this student, so I can get the maintenance supplies, but I thought it was cleaning supplies, so I had, Todd print that off. So yeah, actually, in 2018, it was the first time that, because initially it was just one
Lump.
item
Right.
that split out, so in 2018, there was not much expended at all, because it was a newer line item.
Right,
Right now, to date, we spent just under $250 with $1,500 appropriated.
okay.
So I can,
Sends
for the next one, we can look at the maintenance supplies.
Okay,
But those were, I think the only thing right now, yeah, it might be contracted services. That was something that was reduced last year, and that one has been overspent a little bit, but because it falls under operating expenses,
we can.
we're still fine.
Right,
So cleaning supplies, there's that. We have, both the 2019 revenue report and are up to date as of January 31st, just to show kind of where we're at in comparison.
One for 215.
What's that?
You have this expenditure report that went up, that you gave us for 7/1 to 215.
Yeah, and then, yeah, so we have the revenue and then the expenditures, so we have up to, last week. And again, that's just because there wasn't any on the revenue side, that's, kind of what they processed so far. So that's why the dates, that's why that one's not till 2/15.
I understand. My only thing is, where do we use natural gas?
There's one for gas.
I know there is, it says natural gas, and we haven't spent anything on it, it's like $250, and that's all that's been there all along. Where is the natural gas that we use?
It's probably coming out then, it might be coming out of contracted services.
Instead of under the title natural gas?
Possibly, because we should have spent more than $230.
Right,
We need to reclassify that, because we
Right.
need to see that.
we need, so that we can better
I mean,
Figure out if
natural
we're
gas
getting
should be the gas that goes into the
the
stove.
stove and the fireplaces.
And
Right.
Columbia, and so I'll look because I don't know why that is.
It would just help us to have
Yeah, so let
really
me-
itemized things so we
and
can
I'll
know
look
where
at-
we need to cut back and
If
where.
it's been going toward contracted services, there may be a way to reclassify it so
Pull
that
it
we
out.
can, yeah.
Right, if there's a line for it,
Yeah.
then we can move it there.
So I'll look
If
into
not,
that
we're gonna
more
have
with
to create
Todd
one.
to see if we can back that up.
And how does the propane tank that's up by the house?
We only get it
Private
filled
garage.
as we lose power. Are we talking about the generator?
No, we're talking about the propane tank, the white propane tank that's in
That's-
front of the
Bathhouse.
bathhouse. I couldn't
Oh,
remember what I got saying, beach
Okay, I
house.
know what you meant.
I don't see.
And I don't know what it's used for, and I mean.
Well, because there's showers in there, hot
Yeah,
water
hot
for
water.
showers.
Okay, so that's used for that there, but I.
It's
never-
only used seasonally too, so I mean
Right.
it's.
But there's never, but that, if we do propane, the propane should come out as its own billing.
Right, so
Right.
that's, again, I gotta talk with Todd to see if it has been going toward contracted services to back it out so we can have it specifically listed as.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, let's work on that a little
Okay.
bit, just so that we have a better understanding of each little thing in the budget,
Okay.
okay?
And then, the January 2020, so the revenue report, so it just shows essentially weddings to date, well, not to date, but all the way through 2021. So as of this, there are 4 additional weddings that aren't on here. So,
So that'll show up next.
one of which, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
That's
So yeah, I mean, we have,
4 additional, Bill, after the wedding expo?
yeah, I mean, none as a direct result yet. We've had a few tours from that.
Okay.
Um,
That's exciting.
But yeah, between myself and Dory, especially with some of the tours that Dory's been doing as of late, we've had some really good feedback and people love it.
And those are for what, 21 or 22?
No,
the-
20 and
We've had
21.
21.
20 and 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I need to know.
Dory, though, would you just for the record, tell them the lovely little story
Oh,
you told me?
yeah.
Just
The
very
most
briefly.
recent, yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, this was great. So this was last Saturday, I was doing a tour, and the couple was interested in September 18th, 2021. So we were doing the tour, and they fell in love with the place. I'd like to say it's my extraordinary selling skills, but really the place itself, they loved it. So they loved it so much, so they wanted to do the camping on Friday, so they could obviously have the whole camp to themselves, and they're doing the north end and the south end. I said, well, that would be great, but if we do that, that doesn't allow for a wedding couple to be, able to enjoy their wedding here. Well, then we'll book 2 weddings. And I said, well, you can do that. He said, we'll book it Friday night and Saturday night, and we'll have. So he was so funny, and I said, yeah. And he said we can have our wedding rehearsal here Friday night.
Right.
Pay the full price, but have the wedding rehearsal Friday night. He's going to pay for a wedding Friday night and a wedding Saturday night. And they were really great
And
couple.
renting
He
the
said-
whole thing. for
renting the whole
weekend.
thing, the entire campground, the lodge, everything for 2 nights. And he said, will you come to the wedding? I said, which one?
Sure. All of it.
Yeah. So yeah, the tours have been going great though. That was really exciting. And another one this past Saturday, they booked it. Another one the Saturday before booked it, just booked a Sweet 16 party yesterday. There's a lot, it seems to be the time.
Are the wedding ones coming out of Wedding Wire, or are they just coming off the street? Do you know where they're coming from?
Some are wedding wire,
Yeah.
some are just
Yeah.
off the street. Some of them, I believe, are through Yelp because Lon is still getting emails.
Right.
So Yelp is even more difficult to deal with than Republic.
That's not
So I'm still in the process of trying to change the password so that I can update the information, take her email off of that, so I still get
Yeah.
emails forwarded from her. So yeah, some are coming from Wedding Wire, but some are just either off the street or forwarded from Lon.
There are so many avenues with the
Yeah.
internet that they
Yeah.
could come from. And this isn't directly related, but I'd like to say it before I forget. My credit card is still being billed for GoDaddy,
Oh,
so I was hoping,
That would be what, $131 a year?
yeah. So, and I'm gonna ask you about this since, we don't know how to pay for things like that without putting it on one of our credit cards. So is that something maybe we could discuss in the future?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I will fill something out to be
okay,
reimbursed for
yeah,
that.
and I'll go back in to GoDaddy, and if you're attached to anything, I'll just pull your information.
Well, I mean, we
Is
have
that-
to pay for it,
Yeah,
so I want
but
to pay for
has
it,
to
but
be.
No, I
that's
know,
mine,
but-
I wanted to.
But I thought as of the last time, your information was taken out, and
I think
and obviously
they
they had it on something else.
they have
so-
it on file apparently, so,
So we will look at that.
thank you. Okay. Rental update, that was the rental update, correct?
Yeah, so yeah, we no longer need a rental update because that has been squared away.
Okay.
So, and actually, I apologize, just to jump back to facilities real quick, just to give you the update. So Republic, they were supposed to come out. As of now, they still haven't taken the trash. We are on our next account manager, so this is the third account manager since June. So I reached back out to them, asking them when we're actually gonna get our trash picked up. And also, they need to amend the most recent bill because those other dumpsters found their way back onto it. So,
Okay, hold on,
I
hold
thought it was
on.
already cleared up.
I just need
it
to.
was.
I need to, okay. Did we get current from when we were not paying because they had the
Yes.
phantom dumpsters on?
So yeah, we are current, they took the phantom dumpsters off, or at least they
And they
credited us.
credited us.
So,
Okay, so
I
then
don't
we
know if
paid
they-
that bill.
yes.
So now they have been scheduled to do another trash pickup. And we have received another bill, and again, the phantom dumpsters are again on the bill.
They're there. So what I don't know is I don't think they ever actually removed them from the bill. All he did was credit us. And so
without
it-
taking care of it.
Yeah, so we actually need them to go in and physically remove it off them.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
So we will get that rectified, and then once we do and they start picking up our trash can, then I will send in the notification that we are,
We are terminating
yes,
service.
but I don't want to do so yet.
Right, and I know, but have you guys looked into which service we should be hiring for in June?
When are we supposed to do it, June?
It's June.
July.
so July 1?
14th,
July.
was it? 21st, one of those days.
I thought it was in
I
June.
thought we were
No,
supposed
it's
to
July.
get bids. Aren't bids supposed to come in?
Only, well, we.
July 14th, 2017 is when it was signed.
So July 14th, 2020.
Who does the town use now?
Republic.
Do they?
No, I think it's a
No,
combination of
ABC
ABC and
and-
Dooley.
And we don't want to use any.
And we don't want to use ABC, we determined that last.
And I thought Julie was bought out recently.
No,
But-
Dooley.
Why, what's the problem with ABC?
I guess some of the departments are having difficulty.
The transfer station.
Oh, that's
That's who
right.
does the
Noonan.
town dump.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Noonan
Who
too,
does
right?
the
Noonan.
Noonan
Okay.
itself?
And,
Thought they have it picked up.
We did have
I thought they had
a
Republic.
couple people reach out, that, I don't know how you met them, but
Yeah.
a couple of people that Julie met, they reached out. One of them actually doesn't service our area,
Yeah, so that.
but there's another one that at least we may be able to further the conversation, get an RFP, and we'll just get quotes from.
Okay, do you two want to coordinate that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Now, there's a lot of people in the town who use, do they use Dooley? I see
Yeah.
his trucks.
Yeah, he's doing.
But does he do commercial too, or just residential?
I don't know.
Noonan does both. I
Noonan's
use
really good
Noonan.
partner.
Commercial and.
You know Noonan is solid?
They helped us with clean up, green up for the last couple of years. They've been really good.
Well, then let's go to them first and see what they're.
Yeah, we'll get quotes from everybody, because, yeah, I think we need at least 3 anyway. That's
To
one.
get back to wedding though, I wanted to, you need to give us an update on the event that was discussed last,
Okay, so, just the very brief,
on rental update.
just kind of the situation and the resolve. So we had something on the books that was not billed as a wedding that we had come to find out was an actual wedding.
Shocking.
So in that time, it has been dealt with, and the parties have since paid the remainder that would have been.
They
due for the
did
wedding.
pay it?
Yes.
Okay,
So we get another wedding.
okay, but this, just to piggyback off of that, this is why we need to really consider
Update the contracts, and
updating our contract. We definitely have to do that.
I did that little blurb that we did get back from town
From
that I
town
did
council.
add.
Thank you.
But there's still gonna be more that we need to do on other aspects of it.
Melissa?
Was it a misread of the agreement on their
No.
end, or they just?
No, it was a calculated effort,
Okay.
so.
That's a nice way to say that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Calculated effort.
Very
Okay.
cool.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like a issue with the.
Okay, nope, okay.
Yeah, this, yeah, so we've since updated the revocation clause in the agreement to include articles of misinformation and.
And that was
Signed documents.
suggested and worded by town council, so they said that should cover us. However, we do need to consider the price discrepancy between the two types of events or anything that's considered a non-wedding event, so that people aren't motivated as much to try and do something like that.
That's a big difference though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And so we will, I'm just saying for the future, this is something that we need to all think about and contribute ideas to.
When, and actually, so we can save for under old business when we get to business plan, wedding rate incentive, so we can
Yeah.
actually talk about that, because I did print out a couple things,
Yeah, I see.
suggestions for rate changes.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the update on that.
You want to skip down to events?
Yes.
New business, events?
So events, the dancing is still up in the air, I'm waiting to get their information.
Yeah, I
so we can-
texted him to get on the, respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just need to get that agreement together. The date that they want is open.
Yeah.
We just gotta get everything in place, get their permit in front of the board of selectmen so that the bar, they can have the bar open.
Right.
So we've got that in place, or at least in motion. I have the contract for the karate program that we're gonna look to do for April vacation, so I gotta get with them to solidify that, get the dates in that structure worked out. Tomorrow I'll be reaching out to Unipay so we can get the link set up so that people can register. And I'm still going back and forth with the magician, but it looks like one of the days in April vacation, you know, we'll look to probably do like an early evening,
Okay.
you know, magic show for the kids.
Like 7? 6:30?
Yeah, like 6:30 or something like that.
Okay.
And again, you know, something where, again, we could probably have, you know, some snacks or whatever, and
Right, we
you know.
have popcorn machine.
Yeah, so we'll make it fun. We still have candy from Halloween that's packaged and safe for another year or so, so we might as well try to
Right.
get rid of that.
When would you feel comfortable starting to market this?
The karate,
Yeah.
if I'm able to sit with them and get this all squared away this week, and if Unipay is able to get back to me by the end of the week, as early as next week, but I would say safely within, you know, probably 2 weeks, just to be safe, but
Is there a cost associated with it?
yes, that's the one thing I want to make sure with them before we advertise, but it looks like it's going to be either, you know, $15 per day or $50 if they register for all
5 days?
all 5 days.
Okay.
And then that way they're getting it for $10 a class.
And we're doing this as a vendor?
Yes.
Okay,
Um,
any other questions on that? Okay.
No, and then additionally, an event that we're looking at, it's either Friday or Saturday, May 9th. I think it's a Saturday.
Okay.
Looking at doing a comedy show with Michael Pettit and a few of the comedians he works with. So he's a local guy. He does a late night, it's called Late Night with New England. He films it out of Seekonk. But he's actually offered to have me on the show next week to promote Camp Kiwanee, but also, pending the decision, promote the show in May. So I think we just gotta put it out there. It's for he and 2 other comedians come out, and again, to help with advertising, all that, $1,500.
Okay.
So, again, if we look at ticket sales, if we get 100 people in the door at $20 a ticket, there's $2,000, there's $500 that we made on the event. As long as we at least get 100 people in here.
Any thoughts?
Are we doing bar and
And the
food?
bus service.
We'll definitely have the bar service. Food's tricky just because, again, it's,
Board of Health.
well, Board of Health, it's one of those things, do we have it really catered, or do we look to sell like slices of pizza? And then you're gonna be conscious of people that don't eat bread and cheese and all that, and then so do we do pizza and salads, and then,
Can I ask a question? Sometimes when we have events, school events, like a trivia night, I think people, would have it at the Elks or, one of the other local halls. And, you put a table together and everybody goes, and people bring their own stuff, their own food, their own snacks.
if we have an event that's under 75, that can happen. But
Is it a percentage of the amount of people that the building actually holds? Because these events are well over 100 people.
It's based on the liability.
I was gonna say, it shouldn't be happening, it doesn't happen here, because I know Board of Health wise,
Board of Health says
if
that
it's
everything
75
is
or more,
75.
has to be catered, people can't bring in their own food.
Okay.
I've only seen it done here when it's allowed, when it's been under 75.
Okay.
So I can tell you that if you use Mike's House of Pizza, the town is okay with the Mike's. But you do have to, and out of the generosity of the owners, they sent someone from their shop to hand out the pizza.
Because they were so
For the comedy night that we had here, and it worked fabulously. Incidentally, people who have gluten allergies can also get gluten-free pizza from Mike's. They're a little bit more costly, but I can tell you, he gave us a phenomenal deal that you could even charge people for the pizza.
Yeah, you should,
Yes.
yeah.
So, if you do it that way, but you would have to check in with Mike's, and then you take care of all of the
Well,
board.
the good thing with us is if it's our event, I have the food manager certification. So
Right.
as long as, it's our staff that's doing it correctly, we'd be all set with being able to get the pizza and then selling it.
Okay, so 2 things. Do they typically charge $20 a ticket? I mean, is that their going rate, like?
For
what-
the ticket prices?
Right, I wanna know what other performances they've done and what kind of crowd,
Yeah, I mean, he was saying, so pre-sale you do $20, 25 at the door.
and that typically goes over to where they've been?
Yeah, and he said that's usually, pretty standard. I mean, we could try to up it a little bit to try to make a little bit
I
more money,
know.
but I think that
No.
$20, I think it's people that come and see a comedy show that's gonna be anywhere from an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's,
Michael Pettit was here. He was at the Children's Museum thing in November.
Okay.
yeah, and
We charged $25, but it came with pizza.
you guys included pizza?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
did,
did, yeah.
yeah. We
What,
were,
like a slice, 2 slices?
Didn't he put a box of pizza on each table?
Yeah, 12
yeah, a
boxes
couple
on each
boxes
table.
on each table, regardless of how many
Yeah.
people were there. And some people needed more because we had a code, they had to come back. So those are all things we need to talk about to book this. And
If you
decide
did
whether or
it, if you
not-
did it for $20, you still, you give up that that's kind of substantial, but to be honest with
It
you.
is substantial.
For that $5, because if you're thinking, like Mike's did such a deal that those pizzas were like $1, honestly, each. So we were
basically spending $2 or $3 for those pizzas, you know, overall. But that's a conversation you have to have with them. I'm sure they get hit up so much, so that's another thought too.
So let's figure out what that final cost of a ticket's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to stick 20 and 25 and then just, we could sell a slice of pizza for
Slice
like,
of pizza for a buck.
you know, $1.50, $2 or whatever.
What else
We
can we sell? Can we sell other foods, hot dogs, salads?
A lot of people like chips.
Well, I think with the
I do
pizza
like
too,
chips.
especially if we're gonna be doing it
As well.
because it's prepared at Mike's and it's in a box and all that, we can then bring it here, like the hot dogs. Cause I just don't know, cause then we'd have to kind of do it, or we'd have to find somebody to do it, and
Right.
then, and now we're getting into, with the Board of Health, you know,
Alright.
all that stuff.
Let's just do prepackaged
Oh.
stuff. Okay, so do we agree on $20?
20,
a
25?
ticket and 25 at the door? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. All right.
Is
And
that
the
a
bar.
Friday?
What?
What night is that?
It's
May
a,
ninth?
it's Saturday,
Saturday.
Saturday, May 9th.
Wow.
So I believe, just to be safe, if I could get a motion to spend up to $1,500 to secure
And
Michael
that
Pettit.
date is definitely available, there's no
Yes.
wedding or anything?
No, and I made a note just so I would know.
Okay.
So yeah, we're looking at Laughs on the Lake, May 9th.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Very nice.
LOL.
Okay.
You say
Laugh on the Lake.
1,500 for
Free comedians.
the communities outstanding.
Yes.
So it's 3 comedians, it's help with advertising, and he's bringing all the sound equipment.
So it's
He's
venue.
bringing, that was my next question.
Yeah.
He's bringing those up.
Yeah, so, you know, with, between the speaker setups, microphone and all that, and I think he said he even has a spotlight specifically.
Good.
So do you think we'll get 100 people in here for this event?
Yeah, I think by us saying, yes, we want to do it, and now moving towards promoting it and getting it out there, you know, with having a couple months, I think we can get 100. Because, Juvie, at your event, you guys had, what, between 75 to 100 there?
We had 150.
150,
Yeah,
okay.
that was a good crowd.
And he's
But-
very good. He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
He's excellent. Yeah.
And it's May too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his, actually, his new promo video is his stand-up when he was here. So
Yeah.
there was somebody there filming.
Yes, there was somebody.
Yeah, there was.
And he
Yeah.
just said, hey, do you mind, he said, I'm filming, because one of the other comedians had a trailer, said, I'm gonna be filming her set, you know, do you mind if I film you? And so, he's like, yeah, sure. He sent him the video and he just spliced it up, and so, yeah, his newest reel is,
Okay,
I kept going,
yay.
so.
So let's make a motion then to spend $1,500 for comedians for a comedy show on May 9th. And ticket prices will be $20 in advance and $25 at the door.
So moved.
Okay.
Second, that.
Thank you. Yes,
One thing, yeah,
pending
Pending
Board of
approval.
Selectmen approval. Do we need that?
oh
I don't
no,
think we
no,
do.
no, what I was gonna
Okay.
say was,
What do you want, Mr. Selectman?
pamphlets. This is a great opportunity for those nice colored pamphlets to be out on the table advertising Camp Kiwanee
We may have
with
them,
150
What?
people.
we may have them
You're
by that
working.
point.
Yeah.
We should have them by that point.
Well,
Can we just get the motion done?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
so we can save that little snippet too for business plan, because I at least have somewhat of an update for you guys.
Okay,
So.
thank you. Okay, town articles?
Um,
Well, town meeting articles?
yeah, so again, our capital stuff is in terms of some of like the recurring articles that are automatic, that are associated with the enterprise fund, those just go in.
They flip over.
So that's nothing that we have to worry about.
Right.
So other than that.
And I don't think, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we have our capital improvement stuff in, and again, with the stuff that, again, is just recurring, we don't need to put that in. I would say we made out pretty good at the last round,
We did.
so I would say, let's not put in any
Yeah.
additional.
I would agree with that, given the current financial
Mhm.
situation in
Yeah.
the town.
Yeah.
So, we're good? Okay. Mr. Town Administrator over there is smiling at that, saying, yeah, you're probably right.
Just happy to be here tonight.
We're gonna move this right along.
Can I
Yes, Joan.
Okay.
Count our
On
blessings.
these special town meetings, you do have things that have to be presented. They're like section 11C, it's always the 11th, but there's an assistant caretaker, you have to put in the pay ranges that you want them to be. Camp Kiwanee event planner, whatever, I know we don't have one, but it is Camp Kiwanee caretaker. So I mean, you got 11B, 11C, you have 11D, which refers to all the beach, and that's where you have to do your rate changes. And that's what's supposed to be in for March 6th. I think it's being mentioned at the opening on it. But these have to be changed, because so for 7/1/20, you have to change your beach director rates, you have to change your water safety instructor, and go on down. I know we don't have some of these positions, but the positions we do have, we have to set the rates. So that's something we have to do, and that's what has to be presented to the wage and personnel and then to them to approve.
But they're set, so anything that's at 12 is going up, but everything, all the other ranges
That's
are.
not
Hold
the
on,
way,
hold on.
when it comes to the beach, no.
All right, let's
The
not
rates-
get heated here. Just calm the tone a little bit.
But when it comes to the seasonal positions for the cove, those have to be all changed. We can't stay at $12 minimum, because we set the rates last year at $17 for the beach director. No, in fact, I went to the town today, what are we,
Thank you,
doing the paperwork. And I have all the rates that were changed by the wage and personnel after the fact on June 25th. So-
Can we
Yeah,
make a
Emma was
copy of that?
1850, the WSIs were 16, the head lifeguard was 16, lifeguards were 1450. So those are all within,
And gatekeepers are
and gatekeepers
minimum.
are 12, yeah.
But that's the starting rates, that's what you have, you can't leave them at the $12.
Right, but that range, that 12 to, most of them are
20.
12 to 20, what we're paying them is in that range. We can't just post $17. We have to
We have
post
to
the
say
range.
it's 17 to 20, we have to do this, change the starting rate, because that's what we approved, and that's what we set it for last year. Am I
Okay,
correct
but
on
in the
that?
advertisement, are you talking about for the?
No, I don't think we should put any prices on the advertisement, because the prices won't officially go in till in May. And we're advertising prior to that, so it should be prices, the pay rates is subject to.
But it only makes,
Commensurate with.
okay, I would say that we should only approve an ad listing the prices, because every other town does that, and we are competing for these kids, because, you know,
But
it's
that's
hard to
not
get
how,
them.
but when he put the rates in, he put $12. But that's not our starting rate, so you can't put in a rate that's not our starting rate.
For the gatekeeper it is.
Well, it's gatekeeper, yes, I'm
But
talking about
Do
the
you
other
break it down
positions.
by job?
On
Yes,
the,
he
that
did.
specific, yeah, I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
do you say gatekeeper 12, WSI 17?
Thank you.
I mean, is it specific to
Thank
those?
you.
Yeah, I mean, each one, so the first ad is the
Yeah.
caretaker one, the second one for the beach literally lists each position and what the range is.
Except that the range really has to be changed in July, but it was approved last year, so.
Right, but we can't, if it's changing in July, but we're hiring them for June, so we can't pay them a price that
But
isn't.
last year it was approved for those prices, that's what I'm saying, is you can't give them a lower price, offer a lower price this year than what you offered last year.
So you're saying we've already approved the $12.75?
No, I'm not talking about the minimum wage, I'm talking about what the beach director got. The price range was started at $17 last, or $19.
Well, no, what we voted for was to pay Emma more, Emma specifically. Like, it wasn't to say this is now what the beach director's gonna get paid anytime we bring in a beach director. Because again, it's gonna be based on experience.
Right, and we paid him more,
We paid Emma 19, but we should have paid, but we still have to do the beach director at a higher price than all the others.
exactly.
And we voted to change the pay rate last year, and it was passed by wage and personnel. And one of them we couldn't do because it was too high, it was we had offered it to be $16.50. But we ended up having to drop it down to 16.
Look, you have 3 positions here, water safety, lifeguards, and gate attendants, 12 to 16. Now, if I'm a kid and the range is all the same, I'm gonna take the gate attendant for 12 to 16.
Well, But again, we had
But
to,
there is a statement in there, doesn't it say?
But can we bump
It says-
that up to?
it says pays commensurate with experience and certifications.
But why do we put the prices up at all? Just leave that part in there, not the single lines.
Because again,
Because
when we met at the meeting, you guys said you wanted the prices in there.
You did.
And then when I initially tried to put what we were paying people last year, it was advised that we do the
no one's
full
gonna
range.
go for it.
Okay, hold on. You asked him a question, he's answering it, and now you have to listen to his answer.
But no one's gonna answer our lifeguards ad. That was the problem we had last year. No one answered it because it said $12. And even though we had the commensurate with it, it's not gonna work if you put down a price of $12 for a beach director. $12 is the beginning price for all the other positions. And so that's all I'm saying is that if
Well-
you leave out the price, you're better off, but
Okay,
that's up to you.
hold on, Brian?
Last year it was voted on and approved by Wage and Personnel. Rates $14.50 an hour for lifeguards, $15.50 an hour for head lifeguards, $16 for water safety instructors, $18.50 for beach directors. So, and we obviously the current rate is minimum wage right now is $12 an hour for gatekeepers. I agree you have to put prices in there. I'd be very careful to write that $20 an hour because in this, we don't offer $20 an hour to anyone, what we voted on for what Wage and Personnel voted on. So you can't do 12 to 20 when you're only paying a max cap at $18.50.
But,
You kind of have to be real careful with what you're putting out there.
well, I'm kind of being risky here and saying this on record, but if I have one applicant to be beach director and they tell me they're only gonna work for $20 an hour,
Well, then we have to
Hire a
go
beach
back in
director.
front of Wage and Personnel, you just can't hire them. So there's gonna have to be another process to go through to reconvene, obviously, with Wage and Personnel to raise that.
is that true?
You set
Even
the
though our
rates.
rates say 12 to 20?
Was it,
I mean, because the
thought
top
we
end
had
is
that
20, I don't
leeway.
think we have to go back in front of Wage and Personnel, and then, unless we were looking to pay them 21.
I thought we had that leeway within our own budget.
In general, you have to stay within the range as opposed to.
And the range is posted
The
as
top
well.
range
The range is,
is
but-
$18.50.
If you wanna go higher, then you'd have to go back to Wage and Personnel.
But the wage and personnel set the rate you said as 12 to 20.
No.
That's what it,
did you pull it off
in the
town meeting?
bylaws. I
Off
mean,
the
that's
warrant,
what,
pulled it
I
off
have
town
the-
meeting warrant.
I have it right here. And it does say 12 to 20.
So when you have these broad ranges, it looks like everything is pretty much negotiable.
Right.
What we're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
If you,
But the,
But we set the rate last year, so what are you gonna do?
But
Not-
we have
just-
flexibility every year within the rates as long as we stay within that 12 to 20 range, don't we?
that was a town meeting vote, that you pulled those
Yeah,
rates
those
off
ra-
of.
yeah, the
That was
ranges.
voted by town meeting. and that-
Right, so as long as we stay within the range of 12 to 20 and then July 1, 1275 to 20. I understand the rate change. Every year, depending on our budget and depending on the experience and the number of lifeguards that we need, et
Who
cetera, et
makes
cetera,
that decision on experience and pay?
the people hiring, which is us,
Us as a commission?
Or the
Because that
people-
hasn't happened in the past.
or the people that are hiring. Because I'll tell you now that if we have a lifeguard that's coming back for their third year, I would like to pay them a little bit more. They've been loyal, if they've been a good employee, but I'm gonna pay them a little bit more than the person who's walking on for the
True.
first year.
True, but will it be the beach director or will it be Bill? Does he have the hiring capability?
We,
Or
yeah,
will it
me,
be
myself,
us?
and the
we
Chair.
have given
Yeah,
that
you presented
authority.
to us and
No,
we
you
said
haven't.
yes or no.
You can't.
See, this is.
You
this
cannot
is-
give the recreation director or the code director hiring authority. It has to come in front of the full commission to approve, just like we have every other year. When Emma hired the people last year, she came in front of us with rates and names and experience, and we
Right.
voted on that.
That's the plan for this year as well.
Correct.
Unless all of you wanna sit down on the interviews for every person that applies. And I don't think that's gonna, you're.
No.
True, but we do have a budget here too. We just can arbitrarily just give everybody the
Right,
top
so
rate.
when we.
well, that's not what we're looking to do, and that's why we need to put that range. If we just put for beach director 18 to 20, now we're stuck paying them 18 to 20. Whereas if we get a newer beach director, we're not necessarily gonna pay them what the seasoned beach director was getting.
And my question is, who makes that decision? The commission?
If
Well, it's
a
gonna be-
proposal is brought for us to approve.
So if you have, say, 3 candidates and you narrow it, who narrows it down to that one candidate and then we vote?
I think we would present it, saying this is our recommendation, these were the 3 that we
Yeah,
had.
and then it would go around if you guys wanna.
Which would set a new
Because you're
precedent,
saying
because we've
to us,
never
well,
had
we
this
don't want to
before.
interview everybody, that's true, but when it comes before us, who's gonna do all the interview process and as far as the pay structure?
Okay,
Because we have to have that before us.
exactly. Nothing gets approved without a proposal being brought to a meeting and us voting. So when the interviews take place with whoever does them,
I believe
Bill
it'd
will be doing them.
Diane, myself, and I believe, John, would it be the 3 of us? Yeah.
If I don't put a bullet in my head before then, I'll be there, but I mean,
But are you gonna offer them a set amount? Or are we gonna do it? Because they're gonna accept or not accept the interview if you go forth. You're gonna give them a rate of pay and they're gonna say yay or nay, but you haven't come to us.
well, I
with
think
the rate
that
of
would
pay.
be one of the questions that we ask. What kind of pay are you looking for? And, because
we
I
just
think,
set the
I know
expectation
we've
that
asked that last year, and that's how we found out, and then confirmed on our own, that other places like Hanover and Pembroke, and I think there was one somewhere else, were offering more money, which is what made, was it Josh?
Yeah.
That went to the Board of Selectmen meeting with that, when we were trying to get our rates approved. So,
Yeah, first he came here and then anyway.
She went to wage and personnel, she wrote a letter and everything else. I've got it somewhere, I just can't find it right.
right, but that was after she heard what everybody else was offering
And that
after
was
these
because we couldn't
interviews.
get anybody to work, and they said they wouldn't work unless the prices were comparable to some of the others. But that's what I'm saying, when you go to this year, you've got to change your rate, starting rates. You can't leave them at $12.75 to $20 for a beach director. You've got to go to at least $17.
That could
for a
eliminate
beach director
candidates
to
if they
20.
see that 12. I mean, if you were to raise
I
it
feel
16
like-
to 20,
I'm sorry,
I mean, that could eliminate some people.
go ahead.
As a recreation professional,
Thank
when I
you.
look at a job, I go, oh, $12 to $20. There is some negotiating room. Last year, the reason why we couldn't get any lifeguards
'Cause it
was
was
because
late.
we were so late.
Thank you.
So right now, we're ahead of the curve. I think we're splitting hairs right now
I
about
do.
this ad. I think that, you know, we're fine where, how the ad is said. $12 to $20 commemorates with pay. As any other professional looks at or applies for a job, they're gonna say, here's your salary range, X to there.
I read this and I say,
That's a big one.
I read this and I say, well, if I'm applying for gatekeeper versus beach director, I'm gonna go with the beach director is gonna make the 20 or closer to that.
Though. I mean,
Okay,
you're advertising the same pay for 3 separate positions. You're not, you say you're splitting hairs, but I'm sorry, but if I'm a kid, I'm saying, hey, if I can get $20 as an attendant, I mean,
Well, it's
to me,
something
it's
that,
okay, cap it, or beach director, 17 to 20. Gatekeepers, 12 to 15.
I'm talking
I'm
about
just being
next
common.
year, really, I'm not talking about.
well, the ads are out
You're
there.
never gonna pay
The
a
ads
gate
are not-
attendant 20.
We already approved these ads.
Okay, so no, we
So
didn't
then we're
remove
not-
prices, but that's okay. The $13 cannot go on that one because that's not what the minimum is gonna be. It will be till
Can
July
I
1st.
use what the town has printed?
$13?
You have it on the sheet right in front of you.
I don't have anything on the sheet in front of me.
It's
You'll like-
section
Okay.
11B, which I believe outlines.
Okay,
Well,
there is
11B
nothing we
only
can do.
does the Camp Kiwanee caretaker, and it's.
Okay, then there was a different seasonal one, it might have been 11C or 11A.
Seasonal is right here,
Okay, so
okay?
yeah.
And it starts at 12 to 20.
Okay, I'm
That
sorry.
was last year
So
for
the
7
13 one was
19.
the caretaker. And that's what the caretaker rate says.
Right,
Yeah.
but that one has to do with, but we're not talking about caretakers, we're talking about the seasonal for the code.
Okay,
But what I'm talking about is you need to change your rates when it comes to this one here, you're saying that everything, that the town will take care of it. You need to put your beginning director, you're not gonna leave it at $12 again this year for 7/1/20.
is this something that needs to go to town meeting you're talking about for this year?
That's
This
what-
has to go to town meeting for this year, right?
Okay,
And that has to be submitted by March 6th, all those figures.
okay,
Okay,
I'm
if
I'm
that's,
talking
if,
about not the ad, I'm talking about.
right,
Oh,
she's
the
talking
ad
about
specific.
she's talking about bringing that for town meeting. Okay, the ad is written as is written. We will make it very clear during the interviews, the pay rate and structure for each position.
But
And I understand that we have concerns about people misreading or interpreting in various ways the different positions and possible pay. So I think that maybe we need to go over this again, probably in September, and set it for the next year when the beach director, when we see how the hiring process went, and when the beach director gives everybody reviews and hears what they liked and didn't like and gets all of the information that they need, that we can make a more informed decision. So the ad is gonna have to stand. No, I'm asking a big thing here, but can you two communicate via electronically, in person, I don't care which way, about the warrant, no, it's not a warrant, I'm sorry, the article to go
The article that would
before,
have to change, yes.
to go toward town meeting before the 6th.
That's for next Tuesday, by the way, so there's a time.
Right.
Well, and I got, we got Town Tuesday tomorrow, so I can go and talk to my buddy, just
Okay.
get clarification.
Joan,
And as
do
I
you
do,
need to,
I
do you
will,
wanna go? On
I just,
Tuesday?
as long as it gets done, I can go, it,
Well-
oh, it depends, no, 11 o'clock.
I'll send you, once I meet with Todd and I've got clarification, I will send you an email and I will CC you on it.
Please
And
do.
we'll all be
But I'm
in the trust
concerned
tree.
because I haven't been getting everything, so.
Then, well, and I'll shoot you a text.
Thank you,
just, yeah.
thank you. Okay,
When did we vote on this?
the ad,
Yeah.
3 meetings ago?
We only voted on part of it, and we didn't vote on all of the wording that he put in, that was put into it, but that's neither here nor there.
It's okay, so the thing is, it's out there. Can we just?
We need
can
to move
just
on.
address it? We need to.
Yeah.
This is definitely a concern. We'll address it definitely.
But as
But it's done.
Selectman Dyer said, we are ahead of the game right now, so
Yeah,
let's
so.
just move on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, it's February, we have the ads in it, it's not April, and we're not
right.
scrambling.
Other places have had them out since January, so we are doing better, okay? Let's move on. Okay. Cove opening. Are we, do you guys want to do an opening day?
Can I just
With
say
what
really
we
quick?
talked about?
Yeah,
right?
just, so it goes into the business plan. I know where everything's a little bit, we're gonna go in there and continue to fix it. I didn't send it in advance because I knew that we had other things going on tonight. Everybody should have gotten a copy, Matt, I don't think you got this. This is really just a rough draft of some of the ideas.
Right.
One of the things that we talked about in terms of marketing was we were going to take each of the aspects of revenue, Cove being one of them, you know, camping being another, needles being another. So this is just for the Cove, because on our executive summary, we said specifically we are going to increase the memberships and the visitorship at the Cove. Unfortunately, I don't think I saw the numbers for last year. I've made some of the stuff up, sorry.
I'm not sure we had everything because I'm not sure Emma finally submitted.
Yes, you did.
Did
I think,
Emma
well, I think all she submitted was
Last
this year's
year's.
stuff, yeah,
Last
we don't
year's.
have.
Comparisons.
Yes.
Okay, so all it is basically for the Cove is we have some basic numbers here. We just want to increase memberships from 131, which was 2019's numbers, and the visitorship, the day passes were 2,334. So based on some of those numbers, we just put in a conservative, like, I think we said 10%.
10%.
10%, just so that we can meet that goal next year. And one of the things that we said would be good.
But
about
again,
that is-
that's weather dependent too, you know,
Right.
so.
But I think in the past, what we've not done with the Cove is not gotten a season calendar of events. We have, that should be out now in February. Like, we should have, I mean, the Cove is open June through what,
June
September-ish?
till Labor Day.
Do we have the
Yeah.
last day of school yet?
It's tentatively June 18th without any snow days.
Okay,
And then it's pushed back to whatever it is with.
right.
I think
What day of the
it's
week
pushed
is the 18th, do we know?
Thursday.
It's a Thursday, okay.
So based on that, so one of the things that on this thing, you guys can read a little bit later, is that the fun day, the opening day should be the fun day. Last year when Emma put it together, there were some really great events, but it was at the end of the season.
Again, that's tradition, so we can
Yeah,
break
we need
tradition.
Yeah,
We absolutely
because
can.
Fun Day, I was thinking for opening day, we need to reach out to the Friends of Camp Kiwanee.
That was mentioned at last meeting,
For-
excuse me.
Sure, but you know, the other thing too is for volunteer help, for hands on deck, and also revisiting our 501c3, because these folks were wonderful in terms of, you know, just some of the volunteering that they had. So I think we can open the door to that a little bit, but this is one thing that they did really well with just getting people in here. Fun Day should be about memberships. So when people come in here for free, Whitman Hanson,
Buying passes.
right? That's when you say, what a wonderful time you're having, would you consider purchasing a membership? And we typically do the sales for memberships, pre-sales during Hanson Day. Hanson Day this year, I think, is first week of June, which we can still do, but I think your biggest bang for your buck is gonna be on opening day. Opening day should be that day, if we can get a couple hundred kids in here, if it's free, the school system will share it. So, you know, the superintendent is very good about sharing free things for families.
Okay.
So let's make opening day, Fun Day, and we typically put some funds into that. Last year, it just really wasn't, well, you know, in terms of monies, when you spend them, if you think about spending $500 and you get 50 kids, that's a terrible waste of money. So let's look at 500 or whatever monies were spent during that day, and you get 300 kids from Whitman Hanson whose families are going to invest in the camp. So that's part of marketing, that's all marketing. I know it's a free day, but if it's a free day and you sell 25 memberships, that's kind of a big deal. So I think that needs
So
to be
you want to
something
have Fun Day on opening day and
Absolutely.
join them together. Okay, and I'm fine with that. And the event that you talked about with the movie,
Yep.
do you want to do that then?
You know, that's
That
really
night?
something that we should, you know, just discuss, because in terms of funding, we need to know where our funding is,
Okay.
because that's costly.
We will not get the whole thing donated, by the way, for
Yeah.
that.
And then another thing too, unless we have a 501c3, there's no sense in sponsorship for this. So we're gonna, we might be able to like call on some of the other clubs in town, like the civic organizations, to pay for a DJ. We definitely need a DJ that day. So,
Booked on the 19th.
so we just have to,
The 18th.
but this is
18th
something
is
that
a
we
Thursday.
should write in there as something that we need to kind of.
Doing it
You
on
want to do it on a Friday usually.
Yeah, so I mean, the date is, you know, flexible, but I really think this is a good time to reach out to the Friends of Camp Kiwanee, because it was something that they really enjoyed every year. If it's a positive event, I think we need to start building, you know, some of that, the bridge
Okay.
to open conversation.
Does anybody want to reach out to the Friends? Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are the friends that haven't seen a friend here since the 3 years
last-
I've been on the commission?
They're here.
No, they were
That's
here.
Were they?
They came here to.
They came last year,
They
they
came last
wanted
year.
to do, they wanted to do a free day, but it came towards like what we were already in mid-season.
We didn't
It was-
have any open dates.
It was hard to swing something like that. So now that we're ahead of the game, we put that in, and honestly, in the business plan, the marketing, we should have all of this stuff in a pamphlet for just the Cove alone of, so one of the suggestions on there was, we should have, and some other places have this, in fact, I got one for a camp, the Boy Scout camp, a season calendar events mailing.
Right.
We should have that already, because we're only talking about June, July, August, and September. We think we're
Well, not
close.
even.
No, we're not talking September.
So
No,
maybe not.
June, July,
Part of
August.
June and through Labor Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Labor Day is the
closing
6th this year.
And we're only open, when the kids are in school, we're only open on the weekends.
Yeah, you know, and if it's feasible, honestly, to get that, it's a brochure. If it's feasible to get it by April, you know, that's something, you know, we can ask the superintendent to see if it was something we could hand out to the school kids. the school
Okay,
children.
so what we need to do first though is hire
The
a beach director.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I want to say, Emma did leave at an end of season
Yes.
before, okay, and she did put down season highlights, what to do, topics to discuss for next season. She's got a whole list here, and she also gave her opinion on the different people,
Right.
too, that worked here last year. So I mean, we can pull, that should be in the files.
Yeah, I
September.
have it,
Yeah.
I just gotta go through my coach stuff.
Okay, but I mean, but all that was in there. And then she also sent out the worksheet of how many passes, season passes, day passes, swim lessons, and boat rentals and all that stuff. Fun day, what it cost actually. She had she sold 32 tickets, but on that particular day. I mean, she did some, but we sold, before the season started, we had a weekend that people could come down and
And
apply.
sign up for beach, swim
Yeah,
lessons and
right,
everything.
But they had to
we
do it in person because the link was never set up online. And that's the biggest thing that we're gonna do this year is have it set up well in advance so everybody can do it on.
Because
that
it
was,
never got set up online, I don't think even at the end of the season, but, I mean, you know, if you go for her difference, I mean, she said the pay ranges for, I mean, she did, I think, a whole thing, but she does have a list in there.
yeah, that was her end of the year report,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a separate page, but we need to hire the beach directors
Right.
before we do anything else, because she's the one that's supposed to make the plan for Fun Day for all of us.
Right, and that's exactly why we're getting, why we got the ad out. We also want to do the library pass, so
Yes.
can we look into doing that, please?
Yeah, I'll go down and talk with them, because again, I believe what was decided is that we were just gonna have almost like a tear off that you could do
Day by
for
day.
each day.
Yep.
So that way it's not something somebody has to return to the library.
Right,
Right.
right? Yes,
Talking about the library and Fun Day and everything else,
yes.
it might really behoove the commission and the committee here to go to the library and set up a table and try to get people to sign up when they have kid events at the library before the summer comes. Because they do amazing recreational programs with the kids on half days and everything. They have a really good audience and following. So it might be a really good idea to build a relationship up where we can set up a table there and say, hey, we're doing this event coming up.
Give out an event calendar.
Give out an event calendar, sign kids up for swim lessons, whatever it may be.
And that was the other thing I wanted to say regarding the link. The previous beach director, and I did not think it was a good idea to sign up for swim lessons remotely, simply because a parent isn't able to always accurately gauge what level of swim lesson
Okay.
they should be receiving.
Yeah. Well, and then it gets convoluted too with, you know.
They
for the second
may
child,
want
the
that
third child,
particular
fourth,
time, but that's a level 4 and their kid's a level 1.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot to consider.
So maybe
there.
we can just keep, like, it's, the season pass and stuff, maybe keep that to registering online, and we can do the
Swim lessons do
in
need
person.
to be handled more personally by the WSIs
Cool.
and the beach director. Okay?
And because if everybody could just, everybody just read this over the next, and then if we could just put it on the agenda.
You can get this?
No.
Okay.
Was it emailed to us?
No, I didn't know,
It
I'm
wasn't
not
Oh, wait.
supposed to email it,
Yeah,
right?
no, you send it to me,
Oh.
and I can send it.
Oh. I'm
Yeah.
thinking I couldn't email
No,
any.
Yeah, you
everything
can send
would be a
it, you can
meeting.
send it
He
to me,
can
and
do
I can
anything.
send out, it's just people then
Oh.
can't, like,
Yeah,
it's when
because
people
I-
reply all.
He's
Oh.
not a
It's
commission
daisy
member,
chain,
so
yeah.
he can
Oh, you can
disseminate
So yeah,
anything.
you can send it to me, and then I can send out.
Let me send it digitally
Okay.
also, so you guys can put, word everything, like I said, there were a lot of, it was a quick, just a couple of things that I think we should discuss about the Cove, because we did say that by February, Cove was gonna be like a big, thing to do.
Or 7:30.
We need to hurry this along. Okay, business plan, wedding rate, and incentives. Honestly, I truly think that's a separate meeting myself. I just do. I'm sorry.
Okay. In the interest of at least kind of getting some feedback, with two things in front of you, the
Yes.
wedding and non-wedding.
Yep.
If you want to just pass it up. So, again, I made sure this is a draft. So just in looking at our rates and information, instead of trying to have it all on one sheet, or actually, I think, in 3 different places, but, we now have wedding stuff on one sheet, and then anything that's not a wedding on another.
Okay.
So it shows, again, a breakout of, well, if we look at the weddings one first. So again, I broke it out Fridays and Sundays. Now I'm breaking it out, looking at ceremony and reception, or just reception only. I think we need to monetize the ceremony piece of it and give people a break if they end up say having a church wedding or something. If we're not setting up here and prepping things for them to get married here, they shouldn't be paying the same price as.
I think 1,000's too much. I think 500 would be fine.
So you think it should be $3,000 reception only?
$3,000 reception only, yeah, I think, yeah, take 500
And then 4,500 for Saturday?
Ceremony, yeah.
That's fine.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So 3,000 and 2,000 is what you think?
3,045. So,
Sorry, 3,000.
discount 500 if they don't have a ceremony.
Okay. So that was one
Yeah.
piece of it. And again, just breaking out what it includes, because again, when you read that initial, what's out there for rates and information, your eyes are going all over the page trying to decipher it. So at least with this, I tried to make it a little easier so that as you go down, you just kind of can absorb everything that you need to know about the rates and info.
Thank you.
So again, here's what ceremony includes. Additional hours. The South End camping package, I cleaned up the language on that a little bit because the way it's written, talking about how weddings can only book accommodations for one night, it's a little convoluted the way you read it, so I just tried to change the wording on that a little bit.
Can we say set up and clean up?
Yeah, in terms of, like
What
the
it
event
includes.
includes.
Right.
Yeah. Again, security deposit and then the info for the Hanson resident discount.
Shouldn't there be something about peak season in here on the wedding rates? Because you have a little,
Well, I didn't include, are we talking about now with the incentive, like the off-season rates?
Off-season rates,
Oh, yeah, so I can update that. So again,
We
Is
never
that
officially
common for the POS?
decided on a fee.
so we decided on what the months were gonna be, but we didn't decide the discount?
Right.
Is that-
I thought we did.
What was that, 20% discount, right?
You threw out a price for that.
It was
Yeah.
November
There's no
1st to April
Hanson discount,
30th,
it was
available
just-
It was
dates
just a
only.
flat,
Flat
yes.
rate.
Saturday,
Something like $3
Okay.
or something, it was like.
oh, no,
Yeah.
that was a thing. I was-
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like a 20% discount.
4,000 to 4,000 off peak for Saturday, 2,800 for Friday and Sunday.
That's what you had, John?
But now
Yeah.
we've got
Okay.
this because does it include a reception or does, a
Ceremony.
ceremony?
So, and again, so that's the 20% figure, so we can just, working with 20%.
20%
Yeah,
is
we can
fine.
say, off-season
Right.
rates, we offer a 20% reduction.
did that
Yeah,
go
that's
before
it.
the BOS?
Yeah, huh?
Fine.
I didn't think that it had to, but does it have to?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. All
Oh,
the
'cause we're-
changes
okay.
have to be-
It does.
Anything even on this paper here that you set up, if it's different than what's
So
in
it's-
there now.
Right,
it
because
has
yeah, we have to
go
get voted
for
on
that.
by Recreation Commission and then Board of Selectmen approval, right? We need
Right,
the two different, okay.
Okay.
So-
Can we
Keep
get
going.
this done before the,
But we
March?
did vote on that last week.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we're-
So now we
It's
can just
basically,
send,
it's basically 20%.
Yeah.
20%.
okay, so we can send that along to,
Yeah. We just,
At
Add
least
to
that
this
piece.
list,
Yeah.
then
And the
send it.
non-wedding rates?
okay, and then yeah, looking at non-wedding, so this is where it's probably gonna get interesting with our meetings with the Board of Selectmen, because there's a lot of things, not a lot, but a decent amount looking to change. Again, especially looking at some of the discrepancies between family reunions and anniversary parties, I think we should bump the prices up on certain events. So,
Okay.
I think for like corporate events, company workshops, again, we charge them a little bit more, but they get a 5-hour event with 2 hours of setup. Same with anniversary parties and family reunions, $1,000. And that way, because again, what we had happen was, we had something billed as a family reunion that was actually what, so at least, and again, not that it's gonna continue to happen, but at least if somebody's gonna have an anniversary party or family reunion, I think we should be getting a little bit more for that.
Okay. Waiting for feedback.
On the 4-hour side, so things like showers and birthday parties, I think we should bump that up a little bit. Keeping the same, additional hours, that's the same as it's been for,
That's 6 hours of setup.
2 hours of setup, 2 hours of setup.
it's a 4-hour event, 2 hours of set, yeah.
Right, so it's a 6-hour thing and the difference is $400 between an anniversary party and our shower.
So
That's a 5-hour event for
Right, that's
And again,
7
I'm just throwing this out because I think
It's
there
only
needs to
difference of
be,
an hour, but $400.
especially with the non-wedding events we do, I think if we're able to get a little bit more out of those, in, again, offsetting the reductions that we're looking to have with the weddings, I think,
Bill, can I ask you, currently, like if there was a corporate event that was gonna come in here, we only charge them $450 to rent the hall? Is that
no, we
what's
charge them
currently-
$1,000.
We do charge them $1,000.
Yeah, so on the, oh, this is the renting stuff. Yeah, on the rates and information, oh, here we go.
Okay,
Yeah, company workshop, it's a 5-hour function, $1,000.
again,
The big thing is with corporate and company shops is our internet.
Yeah,
If you've got good internet, hey, you can charge them 2,000, they'll come in and
yeah,
pay.
they're not gonna come.
right, hold on a minute. Can we, this looks great, thank you for doing this.
I mean, this definitely needs more discussion on what price, but
Right,
putting it out there just so we can start hammering away at it.
but the idea of separating it and listing what everything includes is a good thing. And again, I have suggestions of my own regarding staff for this type of thing too. We should be saying how much staff would be here and things like that.
Okay.
But in the interest of time, so that our town manager can go home today, can we please continue this conversation regarding the business plan and wedding rate incentives until our next meeting, and please make it the focus of old business and to have very little else on the agenda. Is that possible?
Possible with me.
I think that is, yeah. 'cause
Would
we need
anybody
all of our
be okay
paper
with that, just so that we can go into what we need to go into now?
Yeah.
Anything?
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do bereavements, usually, it's just a question towards the bereavements, and I know usually all these others do bar service, so they always apply for, but how do we do bereavement, because it's unexpected and not set up before, to go before the board, how do they get a special permit if they want to use the bar for using it?
Oh, that's a good question.
They gotta hope they get a week's time. I mean, well, yeah.
That's just the
Can it
problem.
be done in a week to get the permit for the bar?
Well, we
Bereavement
meet every
usually
other
is a-
week, so, you know, I mean, it's sometime, it's all about timing, I guess, you know? I mean, in a sense, we could call a special, I mean, I'm not gonna speak for the chairwoman or the chairperson, but hypothetically, we could have a quick meeting and just do a liquor license. But, I mean, that's asking a lot.
Most bereavements, that people wanna go.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Feedback.
saying, but I mean, how do we, I mean, that was just a question, and looking at all of this, I mean.
You're right.
They're set up for 3 hours, and I mean, like, the person dies on a Monday, maybe you're gonna have the funeral service on a Thursday, so I mean,
And that, right. And that's the one event you need the booze at. You know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, no, that's a really valid question. Yes, Brian?
Just a question to Matt, or the town administrator, who might know. Is there a way to work into a bereavement package, a liquor license goes with it?
Oh, that's a
Without
great
having
one.
to go to the
If
board,
they-
rather than go wait
Yeah.
2 weeks for the board of selectmen
That
for a
should be
funeral,
standard package.
can you add that as like a standard package, just for bereavement only, because again, very
I'll refer to
unplanned.
John.
Usually you need a, you know, what day it is, you know, with these one-day liquor licenses are, you know, what day it is, who it is,
Right.
what's happening, so, I mean, if you knew the day, you might have a fighting chance, but you would, you know,
Well, that's why I asked if there's a way to like piggyback
Doing a
on.
rolling admission.
well,
Right, I mean, it was just a question, I just don't know, I know you have to go through the board
the
of
answer is I
selectmen.
don't know, because I've never seen it done, but that doesn't mean it can't be done.
Right.
I just have never seen it done, so I can look into it.
That's a great idea, and that's a great question. And again, these kinds of situations are to my point of, we have to adhere to municipality rules, and we're trying to run like a business. So, okay. So that being said, can
Hold
we?
a second.
Yes.
Is that something that you guys could bring up maybe with the board of selectmen? Because you guys are,
I'd probably look into it first and see if it can be
Okay.
done, and then if it can be done, then
I'd really
probably
appreciate
get back
it.
to
because
maybe the chair and say, I looked into it and it can be done, or
And
it
if
can't be
it
done,
can't,
X law
it
says
is.
no,
Right,
and we can go from there.
yeah, that would be great.
At least then we know.
Right.
That's it.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? All right. With that then, just going to. What?
I got chili.
I just got you, yeah, okay.
Fire's off.
Do I make this motion, or am I allowed to make this motion?
I think you can at least ask for the motion and
Okay.
then,
I would like somebody on this commission to please make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, and/or individual pursuant to Massachusetts General Law C-30A, Section 21A1, as open session would have a detrimental effect and not to reconvene to open session.
So moved.
Thank you so much.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Now you have to-
I'm gonna do a roll call vote.
Each person has to
Sorry,
say-
Joan?
Aye.
Pizzetti? Judy
Joan.
Hartwell?
Aye.
Brian Smith?
Aye.
Brian Pizzetti?
Aye.
John Zuko?
Aye.
Melissa Scartesi?
Aye.
And I will vote aye, Diane Cohen. Okay? So we are now going into executive session. Thank you.
power that
Good
camera
seeing
down.
you. See you tomorrow.